Is your newest show AKA Charlie Sheen? Is that the latest and greatest Boardwalk
It
Pictures?
is. It is. Our most recent release is AKA Charlie Sheen on Netflix, directed by Andrew Renzi.
That show, it's a heartbreaker. I mean, like, you love Charlie Sheen. He's just so, like, endearing and sweet, but so messed up, and it's just I don't know, I loved it, but it was also just heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, look, talk about like how we make these shows, right? So, as a director, if I'm directing something, if I'm going to make a documentary about Jen Nelson, then I don't really want to talk much to you until the cameras are set up and you sit down and I sit down. And then if we're talking about the weather today, which everyone in Los Angeles is doing, um, because it rained for like an hour and a half, but
It
that's a
was
different
monsoon. It was
topic.
like,
Whoa,
Yeah.
crazy.
But I sit you down in the chair, and then everything that we talk about, whether what'd you have for breakfast, it's all on camera, and we'll use it or not. Renzi has a series of conversations with his subjects, in this case Charlie Sheen, such that they really know when they sit down the arc of what they're going to talk about, the topics they're going to cover, and just sort of like the stories that they're gonna get into together. Over months, he does that. And so, again, I think that's nuts. All the good stuff happened in the backyard when you were talking about it 3 months before you shot.
yeah.
But no, he's able to reach a level of intimacy
Hmm.
with his subjects by doing that, where it's not a journalistic Q&A, but yet also does not feel at all like it's a puff piece or curated. It's intimate. I think that's the word. And so again, if I say Greg Whiteley's name over and over again, if we're going to talk about AKA Charlie Sheen, I got to say Renzi, because that guy is just awesome.
Yeah, it was done really well. With the success of that, are you getting other people coming forward saying, "Hey, I want to do one now"? Like Nick
Yes.
Cage. I'm just, like I'm sure they're all coming out of the woodworks, and the next thing is going to be celebrity docs like that. I can see it already.
Yes.
Any sneak peeks or not yet?
No.
Yeah, yeah.
But it has been exciting.
Another fun one to be Nick Cage.
Uh, yes, that would be fun. He was not in this one, as you noticed. There are a lot of people in this. He is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it is amazing. Look, the power of Netflix
Yes.
is quite a thing. And so we've been fortunate enough through the years from time to time to have the number one film or television show on Netflix at any given time. And the power of that is just, it's a different conversation. And so this Charlie Sheen thing has been watched by a lot of people, and the inbound interest from people who are like, oh, I didn't realize that it could be that.
Yeah.
And so maybe I do want to tell my story.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's so
Stay tuned. Watch this space.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I mean, you guys seem to have the ability to create a formula that just works, but yet it feels fresh and different every single time, like Chef's Table can take many iterations. Even Cheers season 1, season 2, totally different. America's Sweethearts, totally different from season 1 to season 2. But yet it's a formula, like it's something that um you can watch and enjoy and you know what it is, and yeah, it's this fun journey that does not get boring. And biographies, like these sort of celebrity biographies are fascinating because it doesn't get boring, it didn't feel exploitive or anything like that. Like Charlie seemed perfectly willing to talk about everything that he talked about and just lay it out. In fact, it seemed that it was refreshing to him, that it felt
Sure
like
did, yeah.
good to get it off his chest and clear the record. But
and connect the dots, right? In like an organized way. Again, I think that's a testament to Renzi's methodology with all of this, that by sort of laying it all out there, connecting the dots, and then figuring out what the beginning, middle, and end of the story is that they're telling, right? Because that story is expansive. The Charlie Sheen story, it's expansive. It happens over time. It's a 3 hour, you know, tour. It's a 3 hour film, more or less, right? And so, but it's not like overly exhaustive. There are plenty of movies and projects and things that do not even populate that thing, that story, because, you know, again, they spent a lot of time telling a story with a beginning, middle, and end. So,
I
yeah,
was
I
I was
I love that
curious
movie.
I was curious about the format because it wasn't usually that 3-hour time frame is 3, a 3-part series, but this was a 2-part series in 90-minute chunks, right? Wasn't it? So was that a
Yeah,
net did Netflix decide to do that, or did you decide to do that, or what was the thinking behind the breakout?
yeah, it was like purely a creative conversation that Renzi and, you know, we all had, but Renzi definitely led that. I think there were times when we thought that was going to be a 4-parter. There were times when we thought that was going to be a 3-parter. You know, I personally, and I remember saying this to anyone who would listen, but the Tiger Woods doc that was done on, was it HBO or
HBO,
Max a
yeah,
few years
yeah,
ago?
yeah.
As a viewer, I found that very satisfying to be able to watch this whole first part, kind of have a tease to the second part. And then it's like, oh, what I got one part left to watch when I'm like, I got to watch it. So I found that to be very satisfying. I've always wanted to do something that was 2 by 90. Um, a lot of this had to do with where certain things fell out in a 3-part sequence, right? Like all of a sudden yeah, it was a puzzle to solve like any edit. I think Renzi and his team ultimately advocated for the 2-parter because it was the best story.
And the 3
There
parts
is
were
a there
the
is
th
a you know, there is a rise and a fall.
y yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
what was
Yeah.
it?
yeah, yeah.
It was just drugs, drugs with problems, and then just problems.
Well, and that was what the 3-parter was going to be, but just problems
Problem
becomes a
just a whole
tough.
episode on just problems, just
Yeah.
nothing but problems. Oh, there were so many moments there where I was like, "Oh, yeah," like, the whole winning thing, like, oh.
Oof. But it's
Remember
funny, he's
that,
sort
though?
of like,
Yeah?
he's doing like the healthy version of it now. Like now he's like out on tour, but not, but he still attracts a crowd. People want to be physically near him.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
he's
just
on tour. I see him everywhere. He's promoting the heck out of that thing. It's everywhere.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
He's
Hell yeah.
everywhere.
he he just has that thing, that electricity, whatever it is. He's winning. He just is winning no
It's
matter what he's
winning.
doing.
You know, we've had a lot of people come through the office through the years. And you'd see how people in an office environment react to somebody that they're not expecting, right? We don't send a memo saying Charlie Sheen's coming in with his family's 8 millimeter film archive today. Like he just comes in with a box of film. And the young kids, you know, it's amazing. Young people don't know anything about anything. They don't know anyone. But that, all kidding aside, but the way that people reacted to Charlie was different. Was different. He's like famous. He's
Yeah,
like a real star. I don't know. I can't explain it.
yeah.
Val
They
Kilmer, the same thing. Val Kilmer being in the office and at our holiday parties back in the day was
wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's
Awesome.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about that too, like, the Val documentary and the thousands of hours of footage to, like, personal footage that was unbelievable. Did you have a team of people going through that footage, or how did you guys put that
So
together?
that film happened because I don't know if you know Ting Poo. She's one of the co-directors of that film, but she was an editor back in the day on almost everything that I worked on. She worked at Radical. She was on staff at Radical as an editor. She's awesome, awesome storyteller. She was working with this Leo, who was the other director. Leo had been working with Val for years, filming him in the behind the scenes of this Mark Twain film that he was making. And then Val got sick, and then it was like, and Leo was uh, uh, digitizing old footage, but there was sort of like this meandering project without any deliverables or pay schedule necessarily that Leo was working on for years. And so Ting was like, can you give him some guidance on this a little bit? And so that came about by me talking to Ting and Leo about like, hey, why don't you bring Val in? Why don't we talk about this a little bit? Why don't we see what it is and what it isn't? Val was very hesitant to make the Val project. He wanted to make a project about his art. He wanted everybody interviewed. When's Tom Cruise going to be interviewed? When are you doing the section about my art? When are we doing this? When are we doing that? And so he wanted to make a show. He saw it as a reality show that was going to take place in his art studio. And in the art studio, clips would play on the wall. And it was just like this whole thing. And it sounds very cool and prophetic now, but it really is the true story, which is I said, Val, in my office, I said, I don't want to do any of that. And he said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to get you a standing ovation at Cannes, which was a weird thing to say. I'd never been to Cannes. I don't know about any of that, but like, I think I was selling. I think I really was like trying to sell him and trying to get him off of this TV show. And I'm just like, how can I get Val off of this TV show? And so I was like, I want to get you a standing ovation at Cannes. But that is exactly what we got him.
That's crazy.
Wow. And Ting and Leo were the directors of that. And that movie's great, right? Like, I'm so proud of that.
It's an amazing film.
It is great.
And it's so, again, another heartbreaker. You guys are just breaking hearts.
It's a heartbreaker. But I would argue it's also, to the original thesis that I was talking about, it is mainstream entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, heartbreaking as it is.
Yeah.
When you are in archival footage of Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise on a aircraft carrier, and he's driving up, and it goes boom, right, and it's like the Top Gun music is playing. Like, I want to scream.
Yeah,
it's just, that is a movie. It's not a documentary at that point. That is just a big old movie.